The following is an exclusive presentation of Jessup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
World famous. The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you by Murphy Builder Supply, located on Northeast Broad Street in downtown Jessup. Also brought to you by the Wolf Animal Hospital on West Cherry Street and the Women's Health Center on Cherry Street at Broad Street, and by Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear. Bob, how you doing this morning?
Good.
Doing good. Got your Georgia outfit on today. Georgia sweatshirt and Georgia cap.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Beat up on Auburn. It's always fun.
Always beating up on them Tigers, War Eagles, whatever they call themselves over there. So this Deep South's oldest rivalry.
The key is, can they beat Alabama? That's the key.
Well, we still got two more games to go. You got UMass Minutemen, which we shouldn't have any problem there. And then, of course, Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets beating Miami this past weekend.
Wheels have fallen off in Miami.
Just falling off.
4 straight losses. Mark Rick on the hot seat down in Miami already. So only his second year down there, but they're not happy with him.
Not happy with him, huh?
Nope. Supposed to bring Miami back to prominence, and losing 4 straight. It's not the answer.
He always starts good out of the gate, but fades toward the end. That's what's happened this year.
One coach already fired. Bobby Petrino looking for a job again. Louisville fired him yesterday. So
Bobby sending out them resumes, huh?
He always lands somewhere, but I don't know why. But Louisville fired him yesterday. First coach fired, so I'm sure there'll be more to come. NFL coaches are supposed to be fired at the end of the year, too. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting. But Bobby Petrino will be interested where he lands next. I said he's been in a lot of different places, but has had his off-field issues as well. So Louisville fired him after 2-8 season.
Okay. Well, you ready for a cool week? Today's going to be around 69. Tomorrow's going to be somewhat decent, around 77. But on Wednesday, the high is going to be 61. And then on Thursday, 63. Friday, 61. 66 on Saturday, and 65 on Sunday. So other than tomorrow, low to mid-60s all week long.
Fall weather.
Fall weather. That's right. It's fall.
It'll be good for football Friday. Looking forward to that. Should be a good night.
And we're taking on who?
The Bainbridge Bearcats.
Bainbridge coming all the way across the state. They play Wayne County Friday night at JC Stadium in the second round of state playoffs.
They beat up on Jones County, so we get the Bearcats of Bainbridge. So Tommy Palmer says they're a real good football team, so should be fun. Looking forward to get Coach Cribb's comments and get more on them tonight at the Touchdown Club and get ready for Friday Night Football, Sweet 16. So hoping to move to the Elite 8 and get that showdown, most likely with Beaufort.
Okay. Now, isn't Pierce County, they've advanced, aren't they undefeated this year too?
I believe they are.
Yeah, I believe they're undefeated too. So the Bears are doing real good down there. So Pierce County won. Glenn Academy is going to be hosting this weekend, and so several area teams won, and they'll be advancing in the second round.
Hey, Glenn Academy gets Valdosta this Friday night. It'll be a fun game down there in Brunswick.
Yep. Yeah, it will be. I'm sure a lot of folks will be excited about that game down there in the Brunswick area. Glenn Academy will be hosting Valdosta.
Just a tip for them. Use the hook and ladder. It works well against Valdosta.
The hook and ladder, huh?
just going to help them out a little bit.
Okay, Bob.
Worked for us.
Worked for us, huh? I'm sure Glenn Academy is...
Rocky, if you're listening, there you go. I'm just giving you a tidbit down there in Glenn. That'll be a good ball game. The place will be packed down there Friday night. Glenn and Valdosta. It's a good matchup. Round 2.
Yeah. So high school football just going right along. Wayne County, of course, won on Friday night. Was that score closer than you thought it would be?
It was a lot closer, and Jonesboro played well. But Coach Cribb made a good comment. He said there's such an emotional win against Ware County. It's hard to get up sky high.
Again.
And we just came out flat. Didn't play well offensively, but give credit to Jonesboro. They played well. But Wayne County did what they had to do to win, so it's like a basketball tournament, survive and advance, move on to the next round. So get that behind us, good week of practice and get ready for a good football game Friday night. Had a closer game than most people expected. Like I said, the line on the game was 33, so they missed that. It was a lot closer than that. So
yeah. Somebody just texted. Remember, if you want to text in, because we can't answer the phone. We're talking live on there, but if you want to text in questions or comments, you can do it at 912-427-3711. Our regular business line is text-enabled, 912-427-3711. And if it works like it's supposed to, it pops right up here on a computer screen. Somebody just texted in and says, Bob, why can't Georgia get the ball across the goal line from the 2? This seems to be a trend. We always mess this up.
I don't have the answer.
Bob does not have the answer.
We just scored from that 40. So just,
got to be a little further back, huh?
Has been an issue, in the red zone, but I'm sure they're working on it constantly. So, but I said the main thing for Georgia's got to get by these next 2 games and then find a way to beat Alabama, because if they don't beat Alabama, they're not going to make the Final Four.
That's right.
The big controversy is that Georgia beats Alabama. What do they do with Alabama?
Yeah, what do they do with Alabama? Then we've seen them in the past. They've put them in there.
The committee wants it easy. They want Alabama to stay unbeaten, Clemson to stay unbeaten, Notre Dame to stay unbeaten, and then the winner of the Ohio State-Michigan game will get the 4th spot. That's the committee's dream. Then it'll have any chaos. But the big chaos is going to be what happens if Georgia goes to the SEC title game and beats Alabama. Both teams are sitting there with 1 loss. Mm-hmm. And Georgia's the SEC champion, so you most likely got to put them in. So the question is, does Bama get in? Just like last year, the big debate was they get in, and most likely they're going to get in. I don't see the committee kicking Saban and Alabama out if they lose a field goal game to Georgia in the SEC championship game. So that leaves Michigan out, that leaves Ohio State out, that leaves Oklahoma out. So then the controversy will build even more.
We need 8 teams.
I tell you, the system is so easy. You take the 5 big division conference winners and get 3 at large, and you got 8 teams, and you go from there. And it's a simple solution. So why they don't want to go to the 8-team format is beyond me. But if Georgia beats Alabama and whoever gets knocked out, I'm sure the controversy will build, and they'll be yelling and screaming to expand. So
how long yelled and screamed for a playoff, and it took 100 years.
But it just seems simple to just go to 8 teams and go from there. But Georgia knows they have to beat Alabama to get in the Final Four, and they know if they win, they're in. So that's if they beat UMass and Georgia Tech, which they're expected to do at home. So, but that championship game in Atlanta is going to be a lot of fun. But Alabama, again, just continues to roll. Shut out Mississippi State, although Mississippi State had a touchdown that they didn't get. A lot of people are talking about that. I don't know how the officials missed that, but they had a touchdown, but they took it off the board.
Who got a touchdown?
Mississippi State.
Mississippi State?
In that ball game, yeah. In fact, they scored twice. Both times they said it wasn't a touchdown. I don't understand what they were saying.
What did they call?
They called no touchdown.
No touchdown? Was he out of bounds? Was there holding?
I can't remember.
Dribbling the ball was out of bounds?
I just knew.
Was he dribbling the ball?
Looking at the replay, they're in the end zone. So, but the official said it was incomplete. So, but Mississippi State had a touchdown.
Okay.
Officially, they don't have a touchdown because they got shut out. So that's back-to-back shutouts for Alabama.
All right, we got a couple texts that just came in. Bob, it says, if Wayne County wins this Friday night, okay, when will the coin toss take place to see if the Yellow Jackets play at home or if we face number 1 Buford? Isn't it a universal coin toss, whatever that means?
It's not a universal. I said it'll be a coin toss between the 2 coaches and the Georgia High School Association. Georgia High School Association will get both coaches on the phone, or they'll go meet somewhere, and they'll have.
And who gets the call?
That's what they do. They will let you, like if you're the 2 coaches, they'll say, but you call it to see who gets to call it.
They flip to see who's going to call,
right.
And then you flip.
Right, exactly. They do it twice.
All right.
So if you win, you get to call it.
Okay.
So,
all right.
But I said, as Wayne County fans know, our luck on coin toss is not very good. But hopefully it comes to a coin toss. Let's just get by this Bainbridge Bearcat team first.
We got Bainbridge team. We got to be concerned about them. They got a real good team.
I'm not worried about a coin toss until I win Friday night.
Somebody just asked the question: has Bainbridge and Wayne County ever played before at all. I know we did in baseball.
Yeah.
Bainbridge came over here and played us in baseball in playoffs, but I don't remember football.
I'm not his.
I don't remember Bainbridge coming over here and playing us in football, but they did come over here and play us in baseball. And somebody wants to know whose great idea was the Wayne Train. Who came up with that idea, that logo? People seem to like it, the Wayne Train.
I believe it was Coach Ward's wife, Katie Ward, the cheerleading sponsor, came up with it. I believe that's correct. So,
and her name once again?
Katie Ward.
Okay.
She's the cheerleading. We've had her in Butch and Bob Show talking about the cheerleading competition team, but I believe she's the one who came up with the Wayne Train.
Okay. And somebody says, tell Bob to bring back the logo for Wayne County football to sting 'em, Yellow Jackets. Too much of the Wayne Train, someone said. You can't satisfy everybody.
I don't have control over all that stuff.
Bob, apparently people think you've got a lot more influence and power than you actually have.
I don't have any. I just show up and call the games. I said, I'm just hoping for that Wayne-Buford matchup. I'd like to see the coin toss go our way and have Buford come here. Because, like I said, we beat them in softball, beat them in baseball. I'd like to beat them in football. It'd be fun. But, just like to get to next weekend. It's been a while since we've been playing Thanksgiving weekend. And I just remember how exciting it was to be in action on Thanksgiving weekend. Just a lot of fun. So,
yeah.
Either way, it'll be a fun trip. But I said this Bainbridge team, they're talking to Tommy Palmer, this team's on a roll. They've won like 5 in a row. They're playing extremely well. So they knocked off Jones County at home 40-13. So we know what kind of team Jones County has because we've seen them the last 2 years. In fact, Jones beat us last year, knocked us out of the playoffs. So different team, Bainbridge. So I'm sure the teams. Talking to coaching staff Friday night before the game, I asked one of the coaches what they're, in fact, I asked Coach Ward, he's a big Georgia Southern fan. I said, you going to the Georgia Southern game? He said, no, I'll be breaking down film. I've got 11 tapes on Bainbridge, 11 tapes on Jones. Whoever wins will be breaking that film down. So this coaching staff works diligently. They break down every film, every tendency.
Yep.
So the kids walk in there today and they'll get the full scouting report on Bainbridge. They'll know everything about Bainbridge there is to know by this coaching staff, and I'm sure we'll be real prepared to play Bainbridge on Friday night. Should be a great crowd. I understand Bainbridge will bring a big crowd. I understand they have an excellent band, big piece band, so it'll be fun to watch them. The Jonesboro band put on a pretty good show.
They did.
So it was entertaining. So it'll be fun.
I do want folks to know these comments about the Wayne Train and the Stingham Jackets are texts that are sent in. I don't want people to get confused that we're saying these things. So we're just reading the text messages that are coming in the screen here. Someone just texted in, Bainbridge used to be in our region in the mid-'90s. Do you remember that, Bob? I don't remember, because did we ever travel all the way over? Have you ever broadcast a game over Bainbridge? Because if they were in our region, that meant that we had to flip back and forth each year.
I don't remember Bainbridge being our region. I don't remember that.
I don't remember. I know that recently we played them in baseball in the state playoffs, but I don't remember traveling all the way over to Bainbridge every other year to play them in football.
I don't believe Bainbridge was ever in our region. That's too far away.
Either.
I mean,
that's a long way for them to be in our region.
I'll have to disagree with that. Bainbridge was never in our region.
When I first started going to Wayne County High School in 1968, our region was the over there where Valdosta and Moultrie and Douglas and Tifton. I mean, we had to travel a long ways in those yellow buses to get over there for football and for especially track, because Mom was really track. And then that was my freshman and sophomore years, and then my junior and senior years from 70 to 72, we were better. We played in the Savannah region, and so we didn't have to go near as far. We played in a lot of the Savannah teams then.
I remember in that Augusta region, that was disaster.
Oh, was that something else? That was all Burke and all those other counties up there?
Yeah, I mean,
long way.
That was no fun. So, but I don't recall Bainbridge ever being our region.
Neither do I. All right. So you got some folks out there who love the Wayne Train. Some folks out there who say, sting 'em, Yellow Jackets. We need more of that. You can do both. No one says you have to do just one or the other. You can get on the Wayne Train and go sting 'em Jackets. You can combine them together, Bob.
I like the wooden whistles they given out.
The wooden whistles?
The Wayne County Chamber of Commerce got the wooden whistles, the train whistles. So I like those.
Well, it's good. It's a good idea. You can, like I said, you can do the Wayne Train and sting 'em Jackets. So just do both. Did you get to see any of that L.A. Rams Seattle game yesterday?
I watched most of it.
Yeah, that was a good game right there.
It's a good ball game. I said the Rams just very talented. And Dante Fowler seems to be fitting in good. They picked him up from the Jacksonville. So to help their defense, they got Dominic Sue. They just got talent everywhere.
And who's their head coach?
McVay. Sean McVay.
We're saying this to McVay's the youngest head coach in NFL, 32 or something like that. And then you've got the head coach for Seattle, who is Pete Carroll, who is 67. He's the oldest coach. You had the oldest coach and the youngest coach going at it. And the Ram, both teams are very physical teams. I mean, they were out there knocking heads yesterday. And it was interesting to see how Seattle came flying down the field to score that touchdown. Just bam, 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 bam. And you said, uh-oh. And
Pete Carroll never ages, though. He's like Dick Clark. Pete Carroll
looks looks so.
He looks like he did when he coached USC years ago.
Dick Clark was the same way.
God never ages. But Seattle's good football. That's Richard Wilson's fun to watch. It's a good ball game. But that's how I was pulling for the Rams. I'm a big Todd Gurley fan. Gurley's having a great year for the Rams.
Yeah, Gurley's having a great year. Someone just said, don't change nothing about the Wayne train rolling. No one's going to change anything about that. We can just say, get on the Wayne train and just sting 'em jackets. You can combine them together. If some people want sting 'em jackets, that's great. If you want, to me, it's two different things. You're on the Wayne train. You know, you're going down the track there for that victory. You got the team and the fans and everybody together, and the cheerleaders and the everybody on that Wayne train going for victory. And when we're there, we sting 'em jackets, right? Okay.
Just win.
Problem solved.
Just win.
Just win, baby. Just win. Just win, baby. All right, let's see. We got see if I can read this here. Another text that just came in. All these comments we're doing here are text messages that come in. I don't want folks to go around saying, well, they're saying on radio we need to. This is text messages, folks, that are sent in to us. It says Sean McVay was a quarterback at Marist High School in Atlanta. GM is Les Snead, who was a scouting coordinator at the Falcons, when McVay was at Marist. So Sean McVay was a quarterback at Marist High School in Atlanta. He's with the Rams now. And the general manager is Les Snead, who was the scouting coordinator for the Falcons when McVay was at Marist. So you got a lot of Georgia, the state of Georgia, of personnel over there in L.A. at the Rams.
Disappointing loss for the Falcons and the Jaguars. Both are in the outside looking in. It's going to be hard for either one to make the playoffs with the loss yesterday. So,
Jaguars were looking so good the first part of the year, and then just suddenly, Bortles started becoming Bortles again.
Bortles played well yesterday. It wasn't his fault. They fumbled the ball, but they needed that win. But the Falcons, boy, Matt Ryan was very upset on that bench yesterday, and I've never seen Matt Ryan show
What was he upset about?
How their team was playing.
Their team was playing?
The fact that they were losing that ball game.
Yeah.
He knew how important that ball game was. Now they get the big Cowboys this weekend in Atlanta. It'll be a fun game. I know a lot of people going to that game. And the Cowboys with a big one last night. So their coach is on the hot seat. So it'll be a fun game this weekend in Atlanta. The Falcons and the Cowboys. Jacksonville, for those Jaguar fans, season ticket holders, a reminder that game's been moved from 8:30 to 1 o'clock this Sunday. So
that's right.
We've been pushed out for the Vikings and the Bears. It's a Sunday night game. So
the Jags not doing as well, and so they moved it up to a 1 o'clock game. So 1 o'clock kickoff for the Jaguars this Sunday instead of the 8:30 is planned.
Take it on my Steelers.
Take it on your Steelers.
Steeler Nation will be in full force in Jacksonville, I promise you.
There's a lot of Steeler fans.
There'll be a lot of terrible towels flying Sunday in Jacksonville because the Steelers are now the number 2 seed in the AFC after a 1-2 start.
Did you see the receivers handing the ball to Floyd Mayweather?
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
Isn't that pretty cool? Here you got one of the best athletes in the world, top boxer in the world, Floyd Mayweather, and he's sitting there, and he's just excited as a little boy when he gets handed a football from one of the receivers from Seattle. I mean, he's just grinning from ear to ear, having selfies taken and stuff like that. I just thought that was amazing. Floyd Mayweather, and no one wants to get in a boxing match with him. And he's there just excited as a little boy getting one again. It's a football. Hand it to him.
Like he needed the football, like he can't afford one.
But it's a game ball, Bob. It's like catching a foul ball. It's a game ball. It means something.
Give it to a kid. Come on.
You had a bunch of kids right to the left of him. You think the second one he would have handed over to the kids over there, but both of them were sitting right there on the table in front of him.
Mayweather doesn't need a football. Come on.
And the receiver didn't even go over to the goalpost, pull out a Sharpie and sign an autograph on it.
The best celebration was Tyreek Hill jumping in and playing cameraman. That was pretty funny. They penalized that, though. They gave him a 15-yard penalty, but I thought that was pretty good.
Now, what game was this?
Kansas City.
Kansas City,
Tyreek Hill.
Oh, okay.
He scores a touchdown. He jumps up in the stands, and there's a cameraman right there, and he becomes the cameraman.
Oh, he
starts filming the game, so...
He's just having a good time, having fun.
They penalized him 15 yards for that celebration, though, but I think it was kind of cute. Having fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was Matter of Kansas City just on a roll. The big story yesterday was the Patriots just getting destroyed by
Tennessee. How did Tennessee beat New England? They whipped up on them, upside down, forwards and backwards.
They beat up on Tom Brady is what they did. Constant pressure, constant sacking. So, big win for Tennessee. So, that was interesting to see New England. Then you get to see the great Bill Belichick press conference afterwards. We didn't play very well. We didn't play good at any pass of the game. Moving on to the next team.
I know. I can't wait to hear Dan Patrick when I get off the air on AM 13, our sister station, AM 1370 Fox Sports Radio, the Buzz WLOP. Dan Patrick will probably have a lot of the hoodies mumbling. And, of course, Dan Patrick, he'll do a lot of imitation of Belichick also on the way that some of the questions were answered.
One thing about Belichick, though, he doesn't change either if he wins or loses, though. So it's not like he gets...
I know. It's still
not like he gets excited when he wins.
I know. It doesn't like he's excited. It doesn't seem like he's depressed.
He's the same way when he wins, should I?
But, boy, if you ask a stupid question, he'll put that reporter in his place.
It's comical to watch his press conference, though. That's it.
You've been in press conferences?
I got my question in down there in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I still don't know what he said. He's still mumbling.
You asked Bill Belichick a question, you still have no idea what he said.
He at least answered. Jacksonville won.
You had it on tape, though.
Yeah. I've listened to the tape 20 times. I still can't tell.
You couldn't give it to Jonathan, him go in there with the supercomputer and break it down?
I still can't tell what he said.
Mumble?
He said something. I don't know what he said. It was a good question, though. I said, how did the Jacksonville Jaguars shut down Gronkowski? He was kind of not much of a factor in the game. And he goes, I said he at least answered it. I just don't know what he said.
Yeah, I remember you asking him that question. Yeah. And you did put that actuality on the air, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody else could hear the mumbling too.
Jonathan said he can understand. Well, I can't. He didn't answer it, though. At least he didn't say it was a stupid question.
No, it's not a stupid. That's a good question.
So at least
that wasn't a stupid question.
So at least I got my question in, so I was glad about that. I just wish I knew what he said. He just mumbled something.
I know you asked one of the best coaches of all time. That's a great question because we did, shut down the Gronk that day. And that was a good question. I mean, I'm sure other reporters wanted to use the answer to that. They couldn't because they couldn't understand what he was saying.
Maybe they can. Maybe
there's enough of them that have been there that's listened to his mumbling. They know what he means.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
But it's entertaining.
It's entertaining. Yeah. I'll go when I get off the air. I'll go into my office and there and cut on from 105.5 FM to 1370 AM and listen to the Dan Patrick Show, and I'm sure that Dan will have a lot to say about that. It'll be fun. It will be fun. Any other, football games? We just talked about the youngest coach in the NFL defeating the oldest coach in the NFL. Actually, he didn't defeat him. The team did. But then, of course, it was his coaching plan and decisions that helped make that. Anything else in college? We talked about the New England game and the Falcons and the Jags. Anything else in football over the weekend that just kind of stood out?
Just disappointing. Georgia Southern didn't win at home. I said they had a 14-3 lead. They looked like they were going to win that ball game easily at the beginning, but Troy just came storming back and took control of that ball game. And then shut the Eagles offense down. So I'm sure Eagle fans are a little bit disappointed they didn't win that ball game. Had a chance to play for the Sun Belt Conference with a win, but Troy wins it. Yeah, Troy wins it 35-21. So that was kind of disappointing. Surprising Tech just handled Miami like they did. Tech's on a roll. So we'll see them in a couple weeks in Athens, but Georgia Tech's starting, beginning of the year, everybody's yelling and screaming about Paul Johnson, but he's got that offense rolling pretty good, and Miami's got the biggest, headache right now, 4 straight losses. Still surprised FSU's as bad as they are.
What happened to them?
Notre Dame just went in and rolled over Florida State. It wasn't even close. So.
When I was listening to the Chuck Oliver show the other day, we have Chuck Oliver on our AM station, AM 1370 Buzz, Fox Sports Radio. And, of course, Chuck Oliver from 5 to 7 talks nothing but college football. And Chuck Oliver feels that the talent is there. It's always been there. He says it's the coaching. He says if you got the right coaching there, then you could win down in Florida State.
Jimbo Fisher didn't take everybody with him to Texas A&M.
No, but they're saying that the type of athletes that Jimbo Fisher had there are not the type of athletes that this head coach would recruit and play. It's a whole different philosophy and play and everything.
The big decision is going to take place in Tallahassee. The question is, are you going to buy him out? I said all these coaches sign these contracts, get these big buyout clauses, but Florida State fans are they're fuming right now. So I'll be surprised if he survives at the end of the season. I think they will buy him out there. They're not even competitive.
No, they're not competitive at all.
They're just getting blown off the field. Games are ugly early, and they don't even have a chance to win the game. So it'll be interesting to see what they do at the end of the year. Is this first year? Do they give him another year? But I'm talking to Florida State fans around here. They don't want to see him get another day, let alone another year.
So. What's the head coach's name?
Taggart.
Yeah. And that's what Chuck Oliver was saying. He's either you've got to give the guy 3 or 4 years, or you got to get rid of him now, because the athletes are not the type that he would recruit to play his type of game. And so, I don't know if Florida State fans want to wait 3 or 4 years. And speaking of Georgia Tech, we gave away Georgia Tech Miami Hurricane tickets this last week, and they were hot items. People wanted those things. And so this, beginning tomorrow, we're going to give away tickets to the Georgia Tech-Virginia game, another big ACC matchup at Bobby Dodd Stadium this coming Saturday. And on the ticket here, it says, taking on Virginia at Bobby Dodd Stadium, November 17th. It's Toy Drive and Wear Gold. So if you go up there and you're a Georgia Tech fan, take a toy, wear gold. I guess anybody can take a toy. But we will, beginning tomorrow, we'll be giving away about 20 tickets to the Georgia Tech-Virginia game in Atlanta this Saturday at Bobby Dodd Stadium. So get ready to start winning those starting tomorrow.
The other interesting game was Oklahoma State, Oklahoma. Oklahoma, it was a track meet up and down the field. Oklahoma State missed a PAT on one of their touchdowns. So at the end of the ball game, when they scored, they decided to go for 2 to try to win the ball game. But the 2-point attempt was unsuccessful. But Mike Van Gundy stuck to his guns in the post-game press conference. That was just kind of entertaining. But they came up short. But Oklahoma almost went down, barely survived that ball game, 48-47. Tennessee beat Kentucky. That was interesting. Kentucky, after the loss to Georgia, went in and got run over by Tennessee. So
I was surprised at that.
Interesting ball games. But Georgia, I said, the key is just stay unbeaten from now until the SEC title game and get ready for Bama.
Control your own destiny there.
A lot of people still think Georgia's got a legitimate shot to beat Alabama, so we'll wait to see how that shows up.
Now we've got 2 more games to play, especially the Tech game. Okay, someone's text in, Weaver was excited. Okay.
I bet he was, yeah.
Now, who's Weaver and who's excited?
Jason Weaver had him in there. Remember, his daughter twirls at Troy.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Jason Weaver, the mayor of Scriven, was very excited because his daughter is at Troy.
Right.
And she's in the band there, is that right?
Right.
She's in the band there.
She's a majorette.
She's a majorette. And so I know Jason Weaver, the mayor of Scriven, was very excited for Troy winning, especially his daughter being there and so forth. But Georgia Southern has 2 more I guess they call them conference games. They will be at Coastal Carolina this Saturday, and then the following Saturday they'll be at Georgia State. And we'll have those games for you right here on 105.5 FM, your Georgia Southern Eagle football radio station for Southeast Georgia. So 2 important games coming up for Southern for the next 2 weeks. All right, Bob, any other questions or anything, or comments, or anything on your mind?
I just want to remind people of this lineup for the Veterans Day. Again, the courthouse, ceremony is taking place. So the next ceremony is at 9 o'clock at Bill Morris Park, and then the ceremony at the high school is at 10 o'clock this morning. Everybody's invited.
Okay. Have a good day, Bob. All right, the world-famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you by Mybridge Ford in Blackshear, by Murphy Builder Supply located on Northeast Broad Street in downtown Jessup. Also brought to you by the Wolf Animal Hospital on West Cherry Street and the Women's Health Center on Cherry Street or Broad Street in downtown Jessup.
World famous Butch and Bob Show.